Okay, and welcome back to 3.2 Applications of Radian Measure. Um, Yesterday we dealt with the arc length, and today we're going to go more into area. So, area of a sector of a circle of a radius r and central angle theta is given by a equals 1 half r squared theta, where again theta is in radians. So, please be aware of that one. So, the first one, find the area of the shaded sector. So again, area equals 1 half r squared theta. So we plug everything in. We have a equals 1 half r squared, so 8 squared. And we don't know theta, but we do know the arc length. So we're going to go back to s equals r theta, and we have 4 pi equals 8 theta divided by 8 divided by 8, and we have theta equals 4 pi over 8, which is pi over 2, or 1 half pi. So now we can finish this one up. A equals 1 half times 64 times pi over 2. So we get on this one 64 pi over 4, but you really should reduce, and that's going to give us an area of 16 pi, whatever the units are squared. They don't give you units, you don't have to worry about giving units back or in return. Now, I would prefer this answer because this is an exact answer. You can give me an approximate answer anyway, throw that into the calculator. And if they tell you decimal places, then you're going to give the decimal value. So this one will end up being 50.2654. So, preferred. You should only use this if they ask you to put it in decimal form. And they won't say put this in decimal form, they'll say round. Okay, see? Express answers to the nearest tenth. So you are going to multiply by pi if it's in there. Find the area of a sector of a circle having radius r and central angle theta. Remember, area equals 1 half r squared theta. Now theta is in degrees, so we do have to change theta to 125 over 180 pi. Now you can reduce it or you can just leave it. We're going to throw this in the calculator anyway, so I would just leave it. So A equals 1 half times 18.3 squared times 125 pi over 180. All I can say on this point is be very, very careful in how you're putting this into the calculator. The 2 and the 180 is in the denominator. Everything else is in the numerator. You might want to go through and multiply everything on the numerator and then divide by 2, then divide by 180. Be very careful in the order you do things. Remember, the calculator will do PEMDAS for you. So if you do the alpha y equals, put everything in the numerator. If you use alpha y equals, alpha y equals, and then enter, that'll give you that nice little fraction bar. And then you'll just put in 18.3 squared times 125 pi. And on the denominator, you will put 2 times 180. Now, if you threw this in the calculator, this times this divided by this times this, it will divide by 2 and then multiply by 180. So you got to be really careful. Use that fraction bar so you don't make silly mistakes. So anyways, we get an answer here, area equals 365.308. That says round to the nearest tenth. So our area equals 365.3. They did give us a measurement or units, so meters squared. And there's your answer. Okay. So I know we've done 2 with area, but go ahead and try this one. I know it asks for the central angle, but just set up the problem, see how you do. Okay, so our formula is still area equals 1/2 r squared theta. Find the measure in radians of a central angle of a sector of 16 inches squared. So this is 16 equals 1/2 r squared, so 3 squared theta. We're looking for theta. So we get 16 equals 9/2 theta. Remember, this is in the numerator. This is not, if you have to do this. 3 squared is 9. I'm going to multiply both sides by 2/9. So I get 32/9 equals theta. That is in radians because the formula requires it's in radians. So you do not have to do any more to it. You do not have to give me a decimal value. It doesn't ask for a decimal value. Remember I told you radians should be a whole number or a fraction. You should never give me a decimal value unless they ask for it. And they're not asking for it here. Okay, how are you guys doing on these? So far it's just formula, formula, and more formulas. Okay, so let's look at a word problem. So, area cleaned by a windshield wiper. The Ford Model A, built from 1928 to 1931, had a single windshield wiper on the driver's side. The total arm and blade was 10 inches long and rotated back and forth through an angle of 95 degrees. The shaded region in the figure is a portion of the windshield cleaned by the 7-inch wiper blade. What is the area of the region cleaned? So I'm going to go ahead and write this. The area of the region cleaned is, and I'm going to leave it blank, and we already know it's inches, so I'm going to write inches squared. So all I have to do is fill in the blank. Alright, so let's go with what they were telling us. This whole thing is 10. This part of it is 7. This itty little bitty part, 3. And then we have a 95-degree angle. Okay, so this is one of those that we have to find the area of the larger and subtract the area of the smaller off to get the area desired. No, we cannot just do the area of 7. We cannot do that. We have to find the entire area here and then subtract this itty-bitty area off. So it's area of the 10 minus the area of the 3. So if we go through this one here, we have, so for the 10, area equals 1/2 10 squared times 95 pi over 180 minus, okay, minus area of the 10. Let's not put that minus on there yet. And the area of the 3 is 1/2 3 squared, same angle, 95 pi over 180. Now, one thing I do want to throw out there to you guys is please do not go, oh, let me just do the 7 squared. First of all, 10 squared minus 3 squared, not 7 squared. So that alone should tell you that that's not going to get the answer. All right, so here's what I do want to point out to you guys. Do you notice that this guy and this guy are exactly the same? There it is, the 1/2 in both, this in both. And remember, we want to subtract these. So I hope you can follow me here, because what I'm going to do, so I'm not doing a bunch of math twice, is I'm going to pull out the GCF. The 1/2 and this guy is a GCF. By the way, 2 times 180, 360. So I have a GCF of 95 pi over 360. And then inside, I have 10 squared minus 3 squared. So 95 pi over 360, 100 minus 9. So 95 pi over 360 times 91. Now this is where I get to point out that 7 squared equals 49. So now you guys can see that 10 squared minus 3 squared equals 91, which does not equal 49. And your answer would have been way off, not a little bit off, way off. Okay, so the area between these two, I'm going to just bring this up, equals 95 pi times 91 over 360, because this is what I'm going to throw in the calculator, which is going to give us 75.44 inches squared. Now, it doesn't tell us anything about significant digits or number of decimal places. We can go with, this is a good answer if you want to go, oh, it's about 75 inches squared, because now you're using significant digits, which is fine. And there you guys have it. This is probably the most correct part of the answer right here. But don't forget the word problem. Area of the region cleaned is 75 inches squared. Now imagine that. I know most of you guys are drivers, driving along, and that's the only part of your windshield that gets clean. Of course, cars didn't go as fast back then, so. Okay. I believe this is going to be our last question. Okay, nautical miles are used by ships and airplanes. They are different from statute miles. Statute miles are what we use, which equal 5,280 feet. There you go. 5,280 feet equal 1 mile. A nautical mile is defined to be the arc length along the equator intercepted by a central angle, AOB, of 1 minute. Itty bitty angle. If the equatorial radius of the Earth is 3,963 miles, use the arc length formula to approximate the number of statute miles in a nautical mile. Round your answer to 2 decimal places. Okay, so there's the picture that they gave you. This is what we're looking for, is that AB. This is 0 degrees, 1 minute in there. So, and our formula is S equals R theta. Theta has to be in radians. So S equals, and our R value is 3963 times theta, which is 1 over 60, it's 1 minute, times pi over 180. So if we throw all of that into the calculator, so if you're using the alpha y equals, you're going to do 3963 pi over 60 times 180. And you're going to get S equals 1.1527, so the two decimal places, 1.15. So there's 1.15 statute miles equals 1 nautical mile. And there you have it. Okay, a little bit different type of problem, one with a minute. But notice, and I had people before going, oh, this is giving me an error. If you have minutes and only minutes, go ahead and throw it into the fractions 1/60 and just let it go. Because now you're doing 0 plus 160 and it's 1/60. Okay, and that is the end of video 2. So there's your homework. I know you guys are all excited. Yay, raw. Okay, and good luck.